These are my oh so good scalloped potatoes. I'm going to share with you how I make them. So first you're going to need some russet potatoes, and we're going to have about 3 pounds of russet potatoes. I'm actually just shy of the 3 pounds right there. Some flour, yellow onion, some kosher salt, some fresh parsley, some garlic, butter, some chicken broth or stock. We're going to have some half and half and a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and of course some black pepper. So first what you want to do is you want to go on and get your potatoes ready to go. I peeled the 2 potatoes, and I'm going to finish peeling this other potato. Now if you are new to my channel, welcome in, and if you're a returner, welcome back. My name is Dyvonne, and on my channel I share what I like to cook and bake for my family in my kitchen. I share my budget-friendly family meals as well as special treat meals that I love to make for my family and my loved ones. I enjoy baking from scratch and doing semi-homemade, easy, quick desserts. So I invite you not to be a stranger. Click that subscribe button and become one of my awesome subscribers. So with our potatoes, you want to slice them exactly how I'm doing here. And you see, you want them about this thickness. This thickness, I would say it would be probably 3/4, no more than 3/4 stacked together. 2/4 is perfect, but 3/4 thickness will work nicely as well. Also, with the potatoes, I'm using 3 pounds, and like I had mentioned earlier, my potatoes are just shy of 3 pounds, so right around 3 pounds of potatoes. Now I have really large potatoes, and so large potatoes, you're going to give you round about 3 pounds. If you're using a medium-sized potatoes, like the size of, say, like a baseball, you're probably going to need about 6 to 7 of those. Now I like to parboil my potatoes, and parboiling is just pre-boiling them, not 100% done, but they're going to be about 50 to 60% done when we take the potatoes off. Now with our onion, I'm using the yellow onion, and we're going to use half an onion, and half an onion is going to give you about roughly 1 cup of onions. Now when I'm chopping my onions, I want to keep the size kind of small, no bigger than, say, a dime, but right around the size of a dime, a kernel of corn. That's what you're shooting for when you're chopping your onion for your scalloped potatoes. Next we're going to do some garlic, and with our garlic we're going to use 2 cloves of garlic. Now if your garlic cloves are kind of small, go on and use 3 cloves if you've got kind of small cloves of garlic, and you want to go on and mince them into a nice fine mince is what we're going for when we're chopping up our garlic. Also, while our potatoes are boiling, I did put a little salt in the water, and so that was about half a teaspoon of kosher salt that I put in the water just to give the potatoes some layers of flavor. And again, that was just a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Also, in the description box below, I will have a list of all the ingredients you need to make these wonderful, yummy scalloped potatoes. But what I'm sharing with you is how I take my ingredients to put them together to make the best scalloped potatoes. So in our pot, you want to use a heavy bottom pot if possible. I'm putting in some butter, and we're going to be using 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm using some unsalted butter. Also, we're going to go on and put in our onion that we chopped up, and that was the yellow onion, and that's about a half a cup of chopped yellow onion. We're going to go on and saute our onion until it starts to get nice and soft. Translucent is what we're looking for, and just kind of like softened up a bit, because we don't want crunchy onions in our scalloped potato when we put our scalloped potato together in our casserole dish. Now while our onion is softening up, I'm going to check on our potatoes. Our potatoes should be just about ready, and actually they are ready. I tested them. There was a little bit of resistance, so they're about 60% done. Pretty much, they're pretty much right there. And so what we're going to do is you want to drain your potatoes, because you want to make sure your potatoes are as dry as possible before you start putting them together for your scalloped potatoes. The reason being is you don't want to have any excess liquid coming into our casserole dish, okay? So make sure you drain your potatoes. Our onions are looking good. They have softened up nicely, and I had my flame on a medium to medium low heat And that's because we don't want to brown them. We don't want to get any caramelization on them. We don't want to brown them at all. We just want to really soften them up. And so you can just do a nice slow heat on those just to kind of soften them up. Now I've added in my garlic, and that was the 2 cloves of chopped garlic. And I just like to saute the garlic and the onion together for just about a minute, not too long. So once I've done that, then I go on and I add in some flour. And we're going to be putting in 2 tablespoons of regular all-purpose flour. And I'm using actually unbleached all-purpose flour. Once I add the flour and my flame again is on that medium to low heat, I go on and I just saute the flour in there with the garlic and the onion. We just kind of want to cook some of that raw flour taste off. And then if it seems a little dry, like sometimes it can be a little dry, just kind of depending, I'll go ahead and add another tablespoon of butter, just like I did here. It just kind of helps to loosen things up a little bit. So once I've done that, I let the flour, the butter, the garlic, and the onion cook for about 2 to 3 minutes more, no longer than 3 minutes. And then I get my wire whisk out and I add in 1 cup of chicken broth. Now you can either add chicken broth or chicken stock. I'm using the chicken broth that you make, the Norse, the one that you just add the little bit of the chicken powder and then you add the water. That's the one I'm using. You can use either one that comes out of the can. You can use low sodium broth. You can use one out of the box. You can definitely kind of use whichever chicken broth or chicken stock that you prefer. Now once I have the chicken broth well blended into the flour and the onion and the garlic mixture, then I start to slowly add in my half and half, and I continue to whisk while I'm doing that. We're going to be adding in the 2 cups. So I put in 1 cup of half and half, I whisk that together with everything in the pot. Then I go on and I add my second half of the half and half to make a total of 2 cups that we put in, and I continue to whisk just like that. I've also turned my fire up to a nice medium heat, so you want to have your fire on medium versus having it like on the low. Once I've mixed everything together well with the wire whisk, I change back over to my wooden spoon and I go back and forth on the bottom because we don't want our ingredients to scorch on the bottom, and we just want like a little simmer on our mixture. Now I'm going to taste it for seasoning. We need a little bit more seasoning, so I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of kosher salt and 1/4 teaspoon of coarse black pepper. Our cream mixture will simmer for about 5 minutes. It'll thicken up slightly and be the consistency of, say, heavy cream or really thin pancake batter, okay? But you don't want to boil it because boiling our cream mixture will make it curdle. Now in my 9 by 13 pan, I've put some butter in it, some nice soft butter that I've put all around just to make sure nothing sticks. So once I've put some soft butter in my 9 by 13 pan, I go on and I layer the potatoes, and then next I use my ladle and I spoon over our nice cream mixture that has the garlic and the onion in it. And we're going to do 2 layers of potatoes and 2 layers of cream mixture. Now when you're putting on your cream mixture, make sure that you totally cover. You want to totally cover your potatoes as best as you can. Now while I'm doing this, I have my oven is preheating on 350 degrees, okay? Now this next step is optional because these are scalloped potatoes, not au gratin potatoes, but we're going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese. I like to add Parmesan cheese, and we're going to do about 1/4 cup on the first layer and about 1/4 cup on the second layer, which is going to be our top layer, and that's going to equate for a total of 1/2 cup total that we're going to use in our recipe. Now, like I was saying, scalloped potatoes traditionally does not call for any type of cheese, but I like to put just a little bit. Au gratin potatoes, you'll find a lot more cheese. Au gratin potatoes and scalloped potatoes is pretty much the same recipe. The difference is the amount of cheese or putting cheese added in, then you're going to have those au gratin potatoes. And so I go in and I layer my next layer of the potatoes just like I'm doing here, and then we're going to put the last part of our cream mixture, which is the other 50% of the cream. We're going to ladle all over the potatoes just like this. And these scalloped potatoes, y'all, they come out so good. These are great, especially if you are going to be making a dish for Thanksgiving. These scalloped potatoes right here, you can double the recipe and make 2 pans if you'd like, or either you can double the recipe and make 1 big pan. But you bring these to the next holiday celebration, folks is gonna be like, ooh, these are good. I'm like, Don't forget to tell them who showed you how to make them just right. Now I cover my pan with foil. We're gonna put them in the oven at 350 degrees. We're gonna let them bake with the foil on for about 20 to 25 minutes, okay? Just till the cheese starts to kind of melt and everything starts to get a little hot and bubbly around the edges. That's what we're going to be looking for, and that's about 20 to 25 minutes. So our potatoes are out of the oven. Let's see what they are looking like, y'all. Wow, you see right there around the sides and the edges, you see how we have those bubbles and the cheese is slightly melted on top. That's what we're looking for. I got some nice fresh flat leaf Italian parsley, and this parsley came out of my herb garden, y'all. And so we just need a tablespoon. We're just going to sprinkle some on top. Now if you don't have any fresh parsley, you can go on and use just some regular dried parsley will work fine as well. We're going to put it back in the oven for about 10 minutes just to let it get slightly brown. And now this is our scalloped potatoes. They are looking so good. They are so nice and hot and looking good, y'all. Oh my goodness, we've got the little cheese coming off there. I'm going to serve us up some. See how we did. I have made some baked pork chops in the oven tonight to go with this and some nice salad. I'm going to go on and give y'all a bite. Let y'all have the first bite and see how we did. Okay, y'all ready? Go on and take your bite. Okay, I'm going to go on and take my bite. Y'all, you put this on your Thanksgiving table, Easter Sunday dinner, Christmas dinner. This is going to be a home run. Well, I hope you give this recipe a try. I thank you for spending time with me today in my kitchen. I invite you to hit that subscribe button, become one of my wonderful subscribers. Don't forget to show this video some love, give it a thumbs up, click share this video with a friend or a family, and remember it's always good when Dyvonne is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.